Hi, my name is Lasneski. Do you have a pile of paintings stashed under your bed, in the closet, or in the attic that you're just not happy with, but you don't know what's wrong? Well, I want to invite you to my problem solving and compositional mastery class, where you will learn not only how to transform those old paintings into a beautiful piece of art that you can be proud of, or at least sell and make some money off of, but also how to step up your skill level by mastering the fundamentals of composition and design. The following clip from a previous class will show you how even one simple, easy to learn principle can immediately transform your painting into something you really love. Watch it. Before I show you the clip, if you'll see on my computer screen here, I want to show you really quickly the photograph on the left and the portrait on the right that my student painted from that photograph. She brought both of these to my problem solving and compositional workshop and asked me how I would take that portrait up to another level. And she made some very exciting changes, which you're going to see in a moment. But I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you just a couple of the issues she addressed during the workshop. One of which is the idea that we all tend to paint what we know rather than what we see. If you look at the eyes in the painted portrait, you will see they're almond shaped, the pupils are round, dark spots, and the whites of the eyes are very white. But if you look at the photograph, his eyes do not look that shape or color at all. Again, if you look at his ears, that left ear she painted sticking out much more than it does on the photograph, and the right ear is painted much more as she knew an ear should look rather than what she actually saw on the photograph. If you look at the forehead and the sides of the head in the portrait, you'll see those edges are very hard, which makes the portrait look flat and more 2D. But in the photograph, those edges are very soft, almost lost, which creates more form to the head. And as I pull my camera back, you are going to see the final result toward the end of the workshop. In the clip, you will see where she has asked me to paint the clothing of this man using compositional principles on how I would change those. And I hope you'll enjoy that. When I first look at this painting, the first thing I see and our eye goes to is this dark and light, because that's the strongest contrast in the painting. And so we're telling our viewers that the painting is about this, by having that much contrast, and it's distracting from his face, especially because the shape is at this point, and we always go in the direction of an arrow. And so you're actually not only drawing away from his face by color, strong contrast, but drawing away from his face by actually using a shape that takes our eye out. Does that make sense? So in the original photo here, we don't even see that. And I know that you were thinking, well, that's what it normally does, but you've actually created a shape that would take us away in shape alone, not counting the color. So what we need to do is reduce the contrast, and we need to get rid of the shape. So there's a couple ways we can do that. One is the strongest contrast is happening here rather than here, and we want the sharper contrast in his face, so we have to reduce these value contrasts down. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to start out by lightening the jacket, because that's the darkest thing on here. And might take me a while to find the right value and color to please me. And it almost doesn't even really matter what the color is. The important thing is the value. All right, I'm gonna leave you to work with that a little bit. But see how soft this is? I'd keep it like that. I would just let it look like let it look painterly, because it's painting after all.
I walked into this class and I thought that what I was going to learn was how to take all of the pictures that my husband keeps taking, how to make good compositions. But the first thing I learned was that what I thought I knew about portraiture, I immediately learned I didn't know anything. The first time you held this up, of that is not right. This is now a character. This is this gentleman. It was not before. But the thing I learned on composition, see, because I learned two things, is that these pictures that my husband takes, I don't have to take them the way they are. I can do 2 or 3 folds, and I have a good composition
Yeah.
of exactly what I want to say
Yeah.
in my art.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Carol.